Self-belief is one of the greatest strengths a person can possess. It is the quiet confidence that tells you to keep moving forward even when no one is cheering for you. Many people spend their lives searching for approval from others. They wait for compliments, encouragement, or recognition before taking the next step. However, the truth is that outside approval is temporary, while self-belief is lasting. When you depend on the opinions of others, your confidence rises and falls with their words. But when you believe in yourself, your determination remains strong regardless of praise or criticism. Every successful journey begins with a single decision to trust yourself. Before anyone else believes in your dream, you must believe in it first. There will always be people who doubt your abilities, question your choices, or underestimate your potential. Some may discourage you because they cannot see your vision, while others may simply fear change. If your confidence depends on their approval, you may never take the first step. Self-belief gives you the courage to move forward even when no one else understands your path. Life is full of challenges, failures, and disappointments. There are moments when hard work does not bring immediate results, and efforts seem to go unnoticed. During such times, external appreciation may be absent. If you rely only on applause from others, you may lose motivation and give up. Self-belief acts as an inner source of strength. It reminds you that every small effort is preparing you for future success, even if the results are not visible today. It helps you remain patient, focused, and determined despite temporary setbacks. Outside approval can sometimes become a trap. People often change their opinions based on circumstances. Today they may praise you, and tomorrow they may criticize you for the same decision. If you constantly seek validation, you hand over control of your happiness and confidence to others. A person who believes in themselves does not ignore advice or refuse to learn from others, but they understand the difference between constructive feedback and the need for constant approval. They listen with an open mind while making decisions based on their own values and goals. Self-belief also encourages growth. When you trust your abilities, you become willing to take risks, learn new skills, and step outside your comfort zone. You no longer fear failure because you understand that mistakes are valuable lessons rather than permanent defeats. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to improve. Instead of comparing yourself with others, you focus on becoming a better version of yourself each day. This mindset builds resilience, confidence, and a strong character that cannot be shaken by criticism or rejection. History and everyday life both remind us that great achievements often begin with individuals who believed in themselves long before the world recognized their talent. They faced rejection, obstacles, and uncertainty, yet they continued because their confidence came from within. They understood that success is not created by public approval, but by consistent effort, determination, and faith in one's own abilities. Ultimately, the strongest foundation for success is not the praise of the crowd, but the confidence that lives within you. Applause fades, opinions change, and recognition may come late, but self-belief remains constant. It gives you the strength to stand firm during difficult times, the courage to pursue your dreams, and the resilience to rise after every failure. When you believe in yourself, you no longer wait for permission to become the person you are capable of being. You create your own path, overcome your own fears, and build a future based on confidence rather than validation. In the end, the voice that matters most is not the one that comes from the crowd. It is the one inside you that says, "Keep going. You are capable. You are worthy, and you can succeed." Walking alone is often seen as a difficult and lonely experience, but it is one of the most valuable journeys a person can undertake. It does not mean isolating yourself from others or refusing support when it is genuinely needed. Instead, it means having the courage to continue moving toward your goals even when no one is there to encourage you, applaud your efforts, or walk beside you. The path of independence is not always easy, but it is on this path that confidence, discipline, and resilience are truly developed. These three qualities are not inherited at birth. They are built through experience, perseverance, and the willingness to face life's challenges without depending entirely on others. Confidence grows when you learn to trust yourself. When you make decisions independently, solve problems on your own, and face uncertainty with determination, you begin to realize your own capabilities. Every challenge you overcome without relying on someone else strengthens your belief in yourself. You no longer need constant reassurance because your confidence comes from your experiences rather than the opinions of others. This inner belief becomes your greatest source of strength. It enables you to face new situations with courage, knowing that even if you fail, you have the ability to learn, improve, and try again. Confidence built through personal effort is far more durable than confidence gained from praise because it is rooted in self-awareness and perseverance. Walking alone also teaches discipline, a quality that separates dreamers from achievers. When there is no one to remind you of your responsibilities, motivate you to continue, or monitor your progress, your success depends entirely on your own commitment. Discipline is the ability to stay focused on your goals even when you feel tired, discouraged, or distracted. It means choosing what is necessary over what is comfortable. Every day you keep your promises to yourself. You strengthen your character and build habits that lead to lasting success. Discipline transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary achievements because consistent effort, even in small amounts, produces remarkable results over time. A disciplined individual understands that success is not created by occasional bursts of motivations, but by steady, determined action every single day. Perhaps the greatest lesson learned from walking alone is resilience. Life is unpredictable, and every person faces moments of failure, rejection, disappointment, and uncertainty. There will be times when plans collapse, opportunities disappear, or people who once supported you are no longer present. During these moments, resilience becomes your greatest asset. It gives you the strength to recover from setbacks instead of surrendering to them. Rather than seeing failure as the end of the journey, a resilient person views it as an opportunity to gain wisdom and improve. Every obstacle becomes a lesson, every mistake becomes a teacher, and every setback becomes a stepping stone toward future success. Resilience allows you to remain hopeful even when circumstances seem difficult because you understand that challenges are temporary, but the strength you gain from overcoming them lasts a lifetime. Many people fear walking alone because they associate it with loneliness, but solitude often becomes the classroom where the most important lessons are learned. It is during quiet moments of reflection and independent effort that you discover your true potential. Without the noise of constant approval or criticism, you begin to understand your values, define your purpose, and build a strong sense of identity. You become less influenced by the expectations of others and more committed to becoming the best version of yourself. The journey may be challenging, but it prepares you to face the future with confidence, discipline, and resilience. In the end, walking alone does not weaken a person. It strengthens them, shaping a character that can overcome adversity, pursue meaningful goals, and inspire others through determination, independence, and unwavering inner strength. Growth is rarely a comfortable process. While everyone dreams of success, very few recognize that real growth often begins during the most difficult periods of life. Moments of loneliness and struggle are usually viewed as painful experiences that should be avoided, but they often become the turning points that shape a person's character and future. These challenging times force individuals to look within themselves, discover hidden strengths, and develop qualities that comfort and ease can never provide. Although loneliness and hardship may seem discouraging in the moment, they frequently become the foundation of lasting success and personal transformation. Loneliness gives people the opportunity to understand themselves on a deeper level. In a world filled with constant distractions, opinions, and expectations, it is easy to lose sight of who we truly are. When we spend time alone, we begin to reflect on our goals, values, strengths, and weaknesses. Instead of being influenced by the voices of others, we learn to listen to our own thoughts and make decisions based on our personal convictions. This process of self-discovery helps build confidence, independence, and emotional maturity. It teaches us that our identity should not be defined by popularity or approval, but by the values we choose to live by. Struggle is equally important because it challenges us to become stronger than we were before. Every obstacle presents a choice. Either give up or grow through the experience. Difficult situations test our patience, determination, and courage. They teach us how to solve problems, adapt to changing circumstances, and remain hopeful even when success seems distant. Without challenges, there would be little reason to improve or develop new skills. Just as a tree grows stronger by withstanding powerful winds, human beings become more resilient by facing hardships with courage and persistence. The difficulties we overcome today often prepare us for greater opportunities tomorrow. Many of life's greatest lessons cannot be learned from success alone. Failure, disappointment, rejection, and uncertainty teach us humility, perseverance, and gratitude. When everything is going well, we may become comfortable and stop pushing ourselves. However, struggles remind us that improvement is always possible. They encourage us to work harder, think more creatively, and develop the resilience needed to overcome future challenges. Every setback becomes an opportunity to gain experience, and every disappointment becomes a lesson that strengthens our character. During lonely and difficult moments, people often discover abilities they never knew they possessed. When support is limited, they learn to rely on their own judgment, manage their emotions, and find motivation from within. This independence builds self-confidence because they realize they are capable of handling situations they once thought impossible. The strength developed during these periods remains with them long after the struggle has ended. It becomes a source of courage whenever new challenges arise. It is important to remember that loneliness does not mean failure, nor does struggle indicate weakness. These experiences are temporary chapters in a much larger story. Every successful individual has faced moments of doubt, isolation, and hardship. What separates them from others is not the absence of struggle, but their willingness to continue despite it. They understand that growth requires patience and that meaningful achievements are rarely accomplished without sacrifice. Instead of allowing difficulties to define them, they use those experiences as stepping stones toward a better future. Ultimately, the moments that seem the hardest often become the ones that shape us the most. Loneliness teaches self-awareness, struggle builds resilience, and together they prepare us for the responsibilities and opportunities that lie ahead. Rather than fearing these experiences, we should embrace them as valuable teachers. They remind us that growth is not found in comfort, but in the courage to keep moving forward when the path is uncertain. By enduring loneliness with hope and facing struggles with determination, we become wiser, stronger, and better equipped to achieve our goals and inspire others through our journey. Success begins the moment you stop waiting for others to lead you and decide to take responsibility for your own life. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect opportunity, the right mentor, the support of friends, or the approval of family before taking action. They believe that someone else will guide them toward their goals or create the path they wish to follow. However, true success is achieved by those who understand that while guidance can be helpful, no one else can build their future for them. The first and most important step towards success is accepting that your life is your own responsibility and that your progress depends primarily on your own choices and actions. Waiting for others often creates unnecessary delays and missed opportunities. Time continues to move forward whether we act or not, and every day spent waiting is a day that could have been used to learn, improve, or grow. Successful people do not wait until every condition is perfect because they know that perfect conditions rarely exist. Instead, they begin with whatever resources, knowledge, and skills they currently possess. They understand that action creates opportunities, while hesitation often leads to regret. Even small steps taken consistently can produce remarkable results over time. Taking initiative is one of the defining qualities of successful individuals. Initiative means recognizing what needs to be done and doing it without being instructed or encouraged by others. It requires courage because it involves making decisions, accepting responsibility, and facing the possibility of failure. However, every meaningful achievement begins with someone willing to take that first step. People who wait for constant direction often remain dependent on circumstances, while those who take initiative become creators of their own opportunities. They understand that leadership starts with leading themselves before attempting to lead anyone else. Self-reliance also develops confidence. Each decision you make independently and every challenge you overcome through your own efforts strengthens your belief in yourself. You begin to trust your judgment and realize that you are capable of solving problems and adapting to change. This confidence becomes an inner source of motivation that no external encouragement can replace. Instead of asking who will help them succeed, successful individuals ask themselves what they can do today to move one step closer to their goals. This shift in mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities for learning and growth. Another important lesson is that waiting for others often means giving them control over your future. When your dreams depend entirely on someone else's support, approval, or timing, your progress becomes uncertain. People have different priorities, responsibilities, and opinions, and they may not always be available to guide you. By taking responsibility for your own journey, you gain the freedom to make decisions based on your values, ambitions, and long-term vision. This independence encourages creativity, determination, and perseverance because your motivation comes from within rather than from external circumstances. History consistently shows that remarkable achievements begin with individuals who chose action over excuses. They faced uncertainty, criticism, and setbacks, yet they refused to remain idle while waiting for someone else to show them the way. They accepted that mistakes were part of the learning process and viewed every failure as an opportunity to improve. Their willingness to act despite fear allowed them to discover new possibilities and achieve goals that once seemed impossible. Their success was not the result of perfect guidance, but of personal responsibility and consistent effort. Ultimately, success is not reserved for those who receive the most support or the best opportunities. It belongs to those who decide to take the first step, accept responsibility for their future, and continue moving forward regardless of circumstances. Guidance and encouragement from others can certainly make the journey easier, but they should never become a requirement for taking action. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to lead you, you unlock your own potential and begin creating a future shaped by your determination, discipline, and courage. Every great journey starts with a single decision: to lead yourself before expecting anyone else to lead you. One of the most powerful lessons in personal growth is understanding that your greatest competition is not the people around you, but the person you were yesterday. In today's world, it is easy to compare ourselves with others. Social media, academic achievements, careers, and lifestyles often create the illusion that success is a race against everyone else. This constant comparison can lead to jealousy, frustration, and self-doubt. However, true success is not measured by being better than someone else. It is measured by becoming a better version of yourself every single day. When you focus on your own progress instead of comparing your journey with others, you develop a healthier mindset and create lasting personal growth. Every individual has a unique journey, different strengths, and different challenges. Comparing your life with someone else's is unfair because you are comparing different stories, experiences, and circumstances. Instead of asking whether you are ahead of someone else, ask whether you have improved compared to yesterday. Have you learned something new? Have you developed a better habit? Have you become more disciplined, patient, or confident? Even the smallest improvement is a victory because it represents progress. Success is built through consistent daily improvement, not through competing with others. Competing with your previous self encourages continuous learning and self-reflection. At the end of each day, you can evaluate your actions and ask yourself meaningful questions. Did you use your time wisely? Did you overcome your fears? Did you treat others with kindness and respect? Did you move one step closer to your goals? These questions help you identify areas that need improvement and motivate you to perform better tomorrow. Instead of blaming circumstances or comparing yourself with others, you focus on developing your own abilities and character. This habit of self-evaluation creates a strong foundation for lifelong success. Another advantage of competing with yourself is that it reduces unnecessary pressure. When people constantly compare themselves with others, they often feel discouraged because there will always be someone who appears more successful, more talented, or more experienced. This comparison can make achievements feel meaningless and weaken motivation. However, when your only goal is to improve upon your previous performance, every step forward becomes meaningful. You celebrate your own progress, no matter how small, because you recognize that lasting success is achieved through gradual improvement rather than instant perfection. This mindset also builds resilience. There will be days when progress feels slow or obstacles seem overwhelming. During these moments, comparing yourself with others may make you feel like giving up. But when you focus on your own journey, setbacks become opportunities to learn rather than reasons to quit. You understand that mistakes are not signs of failure, but valuable lessons that prepare you for future success. Every challenge teaches patience, determination, and perseverance, making you stronger than you were before. The goal is not to avoid failure, but to grow through every experience. Improving yourself also inspires confidence because you begin to recognize your own capabilities. Every new skill you develop, every fear you overcome, and every positive habit you build becomes evidence that you are growing. This confidence is based on real effort rather than external praise. It motivates you to set higher goals, embrace new challenges, and continue learning throughout life. Instead of seeking validation from others, you become motivated by your own desire to improve. This internal drive is far more powerful and sustainable than the temporary satisfaction of outperforming someone else. Ultimately, the most meaningful competition is the one that takes place within yourself. Each day offers a new opportunity to become wiser, kinder, stronger, and more disciplined than you were yesterday. By focusing on personal growth instead of comparison, you create a life driven by purpose rather than rivalry. Every lesson learned, every habit improved, and every obstacle overcome brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. When your greatest competition is the person you were yesterday, every new day becomes an opportunity to grow. Every challenge becomes a chance to improve, and every step forward becomes a meaningful victory on the journey toward lasting success. A strong character is not something a person is born with. It is developed over time through the choices they make and the effort they consistently put into improving themselves. Every day presents opportunities to make decisions that shape our values, habits, and personality. Some decisions are simple, while others require courage, responsibility, and determination. When individuals learn to think independently and take responsibility for their actions instead of blindly following others, they begin to build a character that is strong, trustworthy, and resilient. Along with wise decisions, consistent effort transforms good intentions into meaningful achievements and lasting personal growth. Independent decision making is one of the foundations of a strong character. It means having the confidence to think for yourself rather than allowing others to control your choices. In life, people will often offer advice, share opinions, and influence your thinking. While listening to others can be valuable, every individual must ultimately decide what aligns with their principles and long-term goals. Making independent decisions requires honesty, courage, and accountability because every choice carries consequences. A person with strong character accepts responsibility for both success and failure instead of blaming circumstances or other people. This willingness to own one's decisions develops maturity and self-respect. Making independent decisions also strengthens confidence. Every time you solve a problem, overcome a challenge, or make the right choice despite uncertainty, you begin to trust your judgment more deeply. Confidence gained through personal experience is far stronger than confidence built on praise or approval. It allows you to remain calm under pressure, make thoughtful choices, and stand by your values even when others disagree. Such confidence does not come from believing you are always right, but from knowing that you are willing to learn from mistakes and improve continuously. However, good decisions alone are not enough to build a strong character. They must be supported by consistent effort. Many people have excellent ideas and ambitious dreams, but only those who work steadily toward them achieve meaningful results. Consistent effort means showing discipline every day, even when motivation is low or progress seems slow. It is the commitment to keep learning, practicing, and improving regardless of temporary setbacks. Small actions repeated over time create habits, and those habits eventually shape character. A person who consistently acts with honesty, kindness, responsibility, and determination gradually becomes known for those qualities. Life constantly tests a person's character through challenges and difficult situations. During moments of success, it is easy to remain confident and positive, but true character is revealed during times of failure, disappointment, and uncertainty. Independent thinking helps individuals make wise decisions under pressure, while consistent effort gives them the strength to continue despite obstacles. Instead of giving up or looking for excuses, they remain focused on their goals and continue working with patience and determination. These experiences strengthen resilience and teach valuable lessons that comfort alone can never provide. Strong character also influences the way people treat others. Individuals who make thoughtful decisions and consistently strive to improve themselves develop qualities such as integrity, compassion, humility, and respect. They understand that success is not measured only by personal achievements, but also by the positive impact they have on the lives of others. Their words become trustworthy because they match their actions, and their commitment to doing what is right earns the respect of those around them. Character is reflected not in what people say, but in what they consistently do. Ultimately, a strong character is the result of countless everyday choices and persistent effort. It is built by thinking independently, accepting responsibility, learning from mistakes, and continuing to improve with patience and discipline. While talents and opportunities may open doors, it is character that determines how far a person will go and how they will be remembered. By making wise decisions and working consistently toward becoming a better version of yourself, you develop inner strength that cannot be shaken by failure, criticism, or changing circumstances. Such character becomes the true foundation of lasting success, meaningful relationships, and a life lived with purpose, integrity, and confidence.